Well, I am personally increasingly concerned about data security. I found out one of my email addresses has been found on the dark web. Nothing further other than, hey, we found it on the dark web. But what about the security of this information? I mean, we've seen so many major data breaches, and I'm specific about this because they're asking for the birth date of the beneficial owner. I happen to own a small corporation. I am the sole owner. I would be the sole reporter. And I guard my birth date since I know it is one of the things that people who steal identities use.
That's a great question. And it's a valid concern. Because it is going to be kept in a government database, but there are hacks, as everybody knows.
Yes.
Countries hack, individuals hack, and there is information as a result on the dark web. So your concern is duly noted. So first of all, the database in theory is only accessible to state, local, and tribal law enforcement agencies with court authorization, foreign law enforcement agencies. So that may concern. So it's not just people in the United States. It may be a law enforcement agency located overseas that has some sort of connection or authorization from the US. And then also financial institutions that meet customer due diligence requirements and regulatory supervising requirements. So they will have access to the database. But again, the big concern here is if the database is hacked, or if somebody gets legitimate access to it, but then they themselves are hacked. It is a problem. Unfortunately, in this day and age, it's a problem we have to understand and live with to some extent. And you're doing the right step by trying to minimize it. And one piece of information that I would like to go back to, which I think will help, is if people report their FinCEN number. So let's say that you have 5 different companies, and for each company you put your date of birth in 5 times. So that's what you would do if you didn't get a FinCEN identification number. But if you got a FinCEN identification number, then by getting that number, you would put your date of birth in that time, but then you would just report your FinCEN number. So I think that's a benefit of going down that approach.
Okay, just to clarify, so you go in and you would record, say, company 1, and then company 1 would get a FinCEN number, and then you could use that FinCEN number to record company 2, 3, 4.
No, I mean, so for example, company applicant, an individual right now can go and get their FinCEN number.
And where do you do that?
If you go to fincen.gov,
okay,
you can navigate to a link to do that. And then you would then get a FinCEN number. You would upload some information, including your date of birth. You would then get a FinCEN number. And then each time your FinCEN number is needed as a company applicant, you would report that FinCEN number, not your personal information, because your personal information is already in the database.
Gotcha. That makes sense. So let's be clear for our listeners, it's fincen.gov.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
yeah, because the letters, the way we're saying it, because we're comfortable with it, because you and I both seen it written, a person perhaps listening to our audio cast may not pick that up.
That's correct. Yeah, and Dave, one more thing. So I had said that the FinCEN process applies to company applicants. I believe it also applies to beneficial owners. So again, if you're the owner of 10 different companies, you can get your FinCEN number as a beneficial owner and then just give that on behalf of the companies.
Very good. And I've actually realized that I actually have an interest in an LLC. and that I do not control, but that if they felt that they needed to have me listed, then by listing the FinCEN myself, then I could avoid providing that data further down the daisy chain.
Correct.
Makes
Right.
sense. This is Dr. David D. Schein for Business Law 101. Please subscribe on your favorite platform.